Right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Chaos Child. We are continuing Karus, or Nono's route. It's going pretty well, although it's very chill so far. We've moved into our own apartment. We've gotten mad at Inoue, and she kind of realizes that we don't really want her to be killing all our friends for our amusement. It's kind of fucked up. So, she's run off. We don't know what's happened to her. And we had Shinjo investigate Inoue because we think she's a little bit sus. We're like, I can't remember this about her. Where did she go to school? What are her parents like? Where does she live? Like, Nono doesn't know any of that, and they're supposedly friends. Kakuru's like, wait a minute, I've never met her parents either. There's no idea of what's going on. So they had her look into it, and I think we just got some information. Let's see. Kakuru says, Inoue is dead? Missing? Alright, let's find out. Alright.
大丈夫よ。今は何も言わなくても。
Okay.
落ち着いてからでいいから。
You don't have to say anything now. You can calm down first. Remember, we just got off the line from Shinjo, but it was done off screen, so we don't actually know what happened to Inoue. Alright, what about it? It seems like Takuru is a little bit on edge, so it was clearly something that wasn't good news. Yeah. Remember, Inoue is also like, we know she's the killer, but we don't know if the cops know that. Shinjo had seemed reluctant when I talked to him, but he'd acted fast after I left. The police must have been getting desperate. They wanted to make up for the mistake they'd made with Ito as fast as possible. To be fair, he was kind of like mind-controlled into admitting the murders. And like had no actual connection to half of them. Shinjo had persuaded his superiors and gone to search Serika's home. Okay. What he'd found there was quite damning, right? Absolute darkness concerning her and everything about her. Oh, they didn't have the phone in there? That's what he said. There were signs that Serika Ito had lived there, but there were no signs of her parents. There was, however, a body. It was the body of a person who had originally lived there. Serika had killed the home's original owner, hid the body, and taken their place. Wonderful. Well, the police know she's a fucking serial killer now. That's good. If nothing else, she's murdered the inhabitant. That's what he said. She killed the owner and lived there. Alright. I wanted to tell him he must be joking. I wanted to scream that he was lying. But we fucking knew it. She killed like 5 other people. Why on earth would you assume she didn't kill 6 people? I was the one who asked him to do it. And to some degree, I'd expected this. Yeah. That'd be like super awkward. You're like, hey, cops, can you investigate my friend? My best friend? And they're like, yeah. And they come back and they're like, we found a fucking body. And you're like, fuck, man. you're like, fuck, I even knew it because I knew she killed like 6 other people. Yeah, to some degree we expected this. But hearing the truth feels like someone's cutting out your heart with a knife. That's pretty rough. It's still rough, right? Like, Serika's supposed to be Takuru's best friend. And he's like, fuck, she killed like another random person for her convenience. To like maintain the cover of being a real person. That's messed up. Alright.
私じゃダメ?
I'm not good enough?
私じゃダメ? 私がセリカの代わりにずっとあなたのそばにいてあげる。
Not good enough?
それじゃダメ?
I can take Serika's place. Is that not good enough? I mean, it doesn't matter. You're like best friend, like is like a killer, and her whole backstory might be fabricated. He doesn't know at this point that she's like an accidental creation of his superpowers, right? So I think the only thing he knows is that she's now like not the person he thought she was, and she like murdered the original inhabitants of where she lived, which is pretty sad because he doesn't know anything about her now. He's like, oh, is everything a lie? Fuck. That's rough, man.
それとも私じゃセリカの代わりにはなれない?
Can I not take her place at all? I feel like Nono would have a really hard time filling Serika's shoes, since Serika is the person that goes along with his crazy ideas and helps him research shit, and Nono is like this super controlling white, like she's practically like his either his ex-wife or like his, you know, his wife as like an old married couple, where she's endlessly fighting with him and preventing him from doing anything he's interested in. So that'd be pretty hard to like take Serika's place when you're like opposite characters. One of you is like working with the other person, the other one's like continuously opposed to you. I realized clearly. My home was here, that was where my heart belonged. Here with Yuto, Yamazoe, and...
Arigato, Nono.
Thanks, Nono. You got called Nono instead of Karus. When I finally said her name, she just nodded without saying a word.
炊飯器でケーキが焼けるなんて知りませんでした。
Wait, what? What? I didn't know you could bake a cake in a rice cooker. I didn't know that either. You can bake cakes in rice cookers. Damn, they truly are a miracle machine.
実は炊飯器ってご飯が炊けるだけじゃなくていろんなことに使えるのよ。
You can actually do a lot of things with a rice cooker besides bake rice. Have I been using my rice cooker wrong? Should I be making like miniature cakes with those? Dude, that's a lot of effort. Never mind. Never mind, that's a lot of effort. What else can I do with a rice cooker? Am I learning the ancient Asian secret of how to wield a rice cooker from a visual novel? I wasn't expecting to hear this. What other things can I make in a rice cooker? I thought they were just made for rice. What else can you do? Nono really likes doing stuff like that. I'm impressed. What else can I do with a rice cooker?
ほら、チョコレートのいい匂いがしてきたわよ。
It's starting to smell like chocolate, guys. It's actually pretty good. I mean, I believe it. If you can correctly bake a cake, it would be fine, right? It's like, all you have to do is like provide enough heat that the cake batter like becomes cake and rises. Or yeah, it shouldn't be like it's not like impossible. It's just not a thing I was like ever thinking of. Like, you make rice with a rice cooker. You don't ever do anything else with it. It's like you can do more with like obviously like with like a slow cooker you can do a lot of stuff with like the hot air thingies, or you can do a bunch with steamers. You can do a bunch. I don't think about doing anything else with the rice cooker though. It's called the rice cookers, and like they always only come with instructions for rice. People only ever talk about cooking rice with them, and it's like you can make other things with it. I mean, obviously it's possible, right? I believe that. You just have to look at how it actually cooks stuff. Okay, so it sits on a pressure plate and it cooks until some amount of mass is probably reduced, possibly like an amount of steam or some shit, and it assumes that it's boiling, but it isn't necessarily boiling water, right? That kind of makes sense. Yeah, there's a lot of things you can do with it. It's just not something I ever thought of, so I think that's kind of cool to be like, oh shit, you could probably do a lot of things with it. Like an air fryer. Like an air fryer you can do a lot of stuff with, and it's sold as doing a lot of stuff, but or like a grill, you can obviously grill meat, or you can do like some other weird shit on it if you want to, but you can do lots of stuff with a grill. But like rice cooker's never marketed, or it's never given me the impression that you should do other things with it. I'm sure if I looked up I could find a few things. So fish, cookie, or fish, cheesecake, actual cake. Nice. Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. I don't know. I'd say I'd like to try those, and I would, but I'm really lazy, so I feel like I just never do it anyway. Like, I got some recipes last Christmas that I still haven't tried. A whole year ago, I got some recipes, and I was like, oh, this is cool, and I was like down to try a few of them, and then some of them, the ingredients were such a pain in the ass to find that I just haven't, it's like, I couldn't find it in the grocery store. I went to 3 grocery stores. Okay, we'll do something else. But mind you, a couple of them were like, I know where like an Asian grocery store is. I know a normal grocery store. I don't actually know where I would find African ingredients. A little bit hard to find. Should have gone to Amazon. Yes. What else could we do? Steam buns? Broth? Yeah, broth would make sense. I mean, if it doesn't boil everything off, you'd be okay, right? I think it goes by mass reduction. If you just give it a liquid, does it go until the liquid's gone? Possibly. Anyway, I'd only eaten a few hours ago, but the delicious smell was making me hungry again. I mean, I like cake as much as the next guy, and a couple hours? That sounds perfect. A couple hours after eating? Delicious. Nono was in the kitchen making a cake with Yuto and Yamazoe. Alright. I was leaning up against the wall and half-heartedly watching them. My head was still filled with thoughts of Serika. Shinjo had asked me to meet with him this morning. He had all kinds of questions. How did I find out Serika Onoe was involved in the case? Where was she now? Who was she anyway? Shinjo said her family registration itself was fake. And he told me more. There was no sign she had existed until the time of Shibuya earthquake 6 years ago. That was impossible. I remembered spending time with her. I could clearly remember going to AH General Hospital to look for Amy with her and finding Senri Minamisawa in the middle of an experiment. And I knew for a fact Senri Minamisawa had been down in the facility before the earthquake. If she didn't exist, then what were my memories? Well, you gotta remember, Ito literally has memories of loving a person that he's never met, and tried to did a revenge, literally went so far as to murder someone for revenge. So you could probably say these memories are implanted, but I mean, I know that's not true, but you could, I think a conclusion you could come to is that your memories were implanted and she like came into your life much later. But nothing I gave the police ended up being any real help. And yeah, no, it's pretty hard. Like, if they don't exist, there still wasn't a warrant out for Serika's arrest, because you probably didn't give them any info, like, you know, the fact that she tried to kill someone in front of you. It made sense given what happened with Ito. They probably decided they couldn't risk treating another minor as the killer and getting it wrong again. There was also the question of where Serika came from. If she had no family registration, then she practically didn't exist. And you couldn't prosecute someone who didn't exist. On top of that, there was the fact that the rest of the world didn't know about gigglomaniacs. Yeah, a bit of a problem. They're being as careful as possible, but yeah, because psychics, great fun times. Bring every case into question, because you now have to ask, is this person a fucking space wizard who can alter reality? I said her name in my mind. She'd been with me forever. She'd always taken my side. Nono's almost never on your side. She'd done all those terrible things for me. But then just who was she?
はい、準備 OK。
Okay, we're all set.
これであとは出来上がるのを待つだけですか?
We just have to wait for it to cook.
そうよ、簡単でしょ?
That's right, simple, right?
ねえねえ、どのくらいで出来上がるの?
Hey, how long is it gonna take?
そうね、1時間くらいかしら.
About an hour? An hour?
1時間か.
I'm with Yuto. An hour, huh? That clearly wasn't an enthusiastic, woo, only an hour.
そうだ。ただ待ってるのも退屈だし、せっかくだからどこか行こうか。
Right, it's not very exciting to just sit here and wait. Why don't we go somewhere? Yeah.
いいの?
Watching a pot boil sounds incredibly boring. I'm with you. Why would you ever think you're like, I'm gonna watch a pot boil?
みんな一緒ならいいんじゃないかしら。ねえ、タクル。
Although, if you're cooking something, I don't think it's a good idea to have everyone leave the house in the event something goes wrong. Especially if it's anything hot. If it's just sitting there cooling off, it's safe, but I don't know. Everyone leaving the house seems like a recipe for a potential disaster. And just leave your stove on for like an hour. Nothing bad could go wrong, right? You know, you're out for an extra 30 minutes. Shit gets burnt, a fire happens, it's a mess. Although, that said, they are, I think the cake's done, right? I'm not sure if the cake's done or not. If this is the cake they're making, I think they're probably okay, because rice cookers are generally pretty safe, considering they like turn off by themselves. I would be fairly confident in leaving. A rice cooker, pretty safe to like leave, to like you know, turn it on and step out. It'll automatically switch to warming, and won't, you know, it might slightly overdo your food, but it's probably not gonna like burn it to a crisp. It's not gonna burn it to a crisp, right? So it'd be okay. Fun if we go somewhere together? Yeah, it'd be fun.
Huh?
I wasn't listening.
みんなでどこかに行こうかって言ってたの。
We're all talking about going somewhere. Where are we going?
どこかって？
Yeah, where?
その辺をブラブラよ。ねえ、タクルも行くでしょ？
Just for a walk. You want to come too, right? I swear, everything Nono does with him and wants to do with him makes it sound like they're a married couple. Oh, what are you doing? Oh, we're just going for a walk around the block. My parents do that. That's what my parents do for fun. They're like, oh, what are you doing? Oh, we're just going out for a walk. Every day, I stay at their house. That's what they do. They go out for a walk, they go around a few blocks, say hi to the neighbors, and come back. I don't know about the rest of you, but I don't generally go out for walks when I live here. Now, I do go for walks when I am trying to go for walks occasionally, just because I want to know the layout of the blocks around me comfortably. I have done that, but that's because like I moved to a new place, not like I've been living here 20 years. And I'm going for a walk for fun, right? Like if I'm going for a walk, it's because I need to make sure that I'm like staying somewhat fit, or I need to know like something in the area, or I need to go somewhere nearby.
僕は
タクル兄ちゃんも行こうよ。いいでしょ？
That said, they did just move here, so they might not know the area very well. I don't know how far they moved though. Alright, come on, Takuru, let's go. There wasn't much point in sitting here and being gloomy.
分かった。一緒に行くよ。
Alright, I'll go. I'd go too.
やったー！ウキ姉ちゃん、準備しよう。
I'd go too, simply because I don't know the area, and I'd like to know the area around where my new apartment is, so I can find where I'm going if I get like lost while I'm walking home or some shit. Because, you know, it's awkward if you're like 2 blocks from home and being like, 2 blocks from home, what direction is my house? Okay. Google Maps, 2 blocks, left, right. Oh, wow, okay. Yuto was really excited. I've been keeping him inside lately out of fear that Serika might come. He was probably eager to get out of the house. Maybe it would be a good change of pace.
お待たせ。
We're all set. Nono, Yuto, and Uki came back holding cones piled high with ice cream. We're too... Buying a chocolate bar is a big splash, but 4 ice cream cones with multiple scoops isn't? Aren't those like $5 each? Ice cream's not cheap. Ice cream cones from stores aren't cheap, man. Aren't super cheap. Actually, they're not that bad. They're like $5-ish bucks. That's not too bad for snacks. That's it. Ice cream's delicious. The color of the ice cream was so bright it stung my eyes. Sweet Jesus, you have weak eyes, sir. You have weak eyes, dude.
これタクルの分。
Here's yours, Takuru. She offered me one that was glistening with a thick coating of chocolate. I didn't even know we had options. I'm gonna take the positive
ありが
route.
とう。
As the last route, all positive didn't get us killed. I think there's no bad endings for this route. But we'll see. I took the cone from Nono's
チ
hands.
ョコとバニラでよかったよね。
You wanted chocolate and vanilla, right?
うん。
Alright. This guy's pretty vanilla. Nono knew exactly what I liked. Alright, I mean, vanilla's nice sometimes, but it's when you, like, add things to vanilla that it gets interesting. Like, I don't know about you guys when I have ice cream. I don't usually buy vanilla ice cream from stores, or for ice cream cones, because I prefer to have things on them. If I'm getting vanilla, it's probably going to be in a sundae or some shit, where I add like 20 toppings to it, you know? You add your sprinkles, you add raisins, maybe you add... Well, I don't like chocolate chips because I think they're too hard, and it's a bad contrast, so I prefer butterscotch chips. So I add like butterscotch chips, maybe some caramel, maybe some caramel or some chocolate fudge and like give it some real flavor. Generally, I think like just vanilla ice cream by itself is pretty plain. Much like, but Takuru himself isn't. He's just spineless. For one thing he isn't is incredibly boring. It's good. But why order vanilla ice cream? It is.
甘くて
っていうか、ケーキも焼いてるのに甘いものばっかでいいのか？
We're making a cake too. Is it okay to have so many sweets? Wait, they have the cake waiting for them at home and they bought ice cream? Why? So is the cake. Alright. Interesting choice, Sakuru. Go out, buy ice cream when you're making cake. Maybe they're giving the cake to Kunasato. Although it is... Oh, okay. I was gonna say, it's a rice cooker cake. They probably have a full-size rice cooker because they're feeding 4 people. And she fed a whole family. They say you can never have too many sweets, right? For someone who's budget conscious, $20 on ice cream and then like another $10 on cake seems questionable. But that's just me. I mean, there is like being okay with it, but if I don't know, that's an interesting choice. Hadn't she gotten mad when I bought those Yat Cats? Yeah, she got mad when we bought a pair of Kit Kats, and we went out for ice cream and then made a cake same day. I'd probably do one of those per day. I mean, me, like, I'll do whatever I'm up for because I live by myself, but if I was budget conscious, I'd try to avoid doing both of them the same day because you never know what you're going to feel like tomorrow. Oh well. Enjoy the ice cream. What kind of flavor did Yuto get? Please tell me he got something more exciting than vanilla. If it made everyone happy. And Nono too. Trigger on. Oh boy. Oh, it's so good. It's so sweet and delicious. I feel like I'm melting. Oh boy, it's a positive delusion featuring Nono licking an ice cream cone. Let's see if we get some art. Nono devoured the ice cream and went straight for the cone. She looked like she was in a state of ecstasy. It was so good.
なんだよ。もう食べちゃったのか?
You done already?
でも
Yes, but she looked longingly at mine.
何?
What? What?
こんなのじゃ足りない。もっと
It wasn't enough.
欲しいな。
This isn't all that lewd so far. Nono peered into my eyes, her cheeks flushed red. She was fidgeting and rubbing her thighs together. It was kind of a turn on. Oh boy, here we go. I was like, it's not so erotic so far. Alright. Cool. My heart skipped a beat. I stopped licking the cone and gulped down my saliva.
ねえ、タクルの
Oh
な
god,
めち
here
ゃ
we
ん
go.
ダメ
Hey, Takaru, can I lick it? Oh, I can't even question his phrasing. That's clearly what he's suggesting.
僕の
It's intentionally suggestive. Sorry. Erotic's the wrong term. Suggestive. That would be right. Mine? You could just buy another one, right?
違うの。私が舐めたいのはそっち。
I want to lick that one. Nono looked at it and poked her tongue out. The pink flesh poked longingly through her pretty lips.
すっごく
It looks so good.
ねえ。
It's only slightly...
それ
Remember, it's just an ice cream
Better
cone. It's just an ice cream cone, guys. Can I lick it?
いいけど、ユータたちが見てる。
Okay, but the little kids are watching. Phrasing.
いいわよ。私は見られたって平気。
I don't care if they see me. Good job, whoever translated this. Was that okay? But Nono was practically begging for it.
そこまで言うなら仕方ないな。
If you insist.
でも、
But just a little.
ちょっとだけだぞ。
Okay. Oh boy. Alright, she gave me a seductive smile and brought her face close. Then she licked it with the tip of her tongue. It's ice cream, I swear. Her tongue moved from the tip down across the rest of it. They aren't stopping. It's just ice cream, I swear. It tastes like you, Takuru. Oh my god, nice job. Her eyes are looking up at me from below. More. Give me more. I saw her tongue. Look at the framing of this picture. Look at the framing of this picture. I saw her tongue flick seductively for a moment before her tiny mouth swallowed the whole thing. Oh my god, we're still going. This is fun. It's an ice cream cone. A smooth, clear liquid dribbled from her mouth. Still an ice cream cone. Her tongue flicked about and wrapped around the whole thing. It's just an ice cream cone, remember? We're not doing anything lewd. Not to cruise, making noises. Pleasure signals stimulated my brain one after another. It was all I could do to stay standing. Sakura. I can keep going. Right. The walls of my reason collapsed. Much like those buildings in the Shibuya earthquake, my head shook up and down. Then say it out loud. If you want, I'll lick it for you. Lick it more. I can't hear you. Lick it, please, please. Alright, since you said it right, I'll give you a reward. Whoever translated this did a really good job. This is great. This is great. Her crimson lips opened again as she slowly put it in her mouth. Tucker, your finger tastes so good. Look at the faces. Carissa's like, I'm gonna fucking kill you, and the other two are just like, what the fuck am I listening? What did we say out loud? What did we say out loud? What's gotten into those two? Don't worry, it's nothing out of the ordinary. What was I thinking about doing this in the middle of the street? We ended up using a lot of money, huh? After we bought everything we needed, we'd run through quite a bit of cash. I guess starting tomorrow we're cutting back, huh? Yeah, Nono sounded kind of happy. She'd been like that for as long as I'd known her. The worse a problem got, the more excited she was to solve it. That was one of the reasons everyone counted on her so much. I like the Zexy logo in the back there. It was a phone call, but my phone was silent in my pocket, which meant... Oh, sorry, it's me. She pocket dialed you, really? Nono took her phone out and looked at the screen, then put it back in her bag. Who's that? Curious? No, you just didn't answer it. It was from Kawahara. Yeah, fuck that guy. Kawahara? Student council VP. He calls sometimes and asks me when I'm coming back to school. And she's just laughing at that. Alright. What's so funny, Karus? You're skipping school.
別に。
Nothing. What a weirdo.
あ、そうだ。ねえ、そういえばさっきのお店で福引きの券もらったわよね。
Alright, you got a raffle ticket at the last place we went to, right?
ああ、そういや。
Yeah, come to think about it.
多分この辺でやってると思うんだけど。
I think they're doing their raffle somewhere around here. Normally I never paid attention to those things, even if I got them, but Nono always did. He was always kind of like a housewife that way.
あれじゃないですか。
Is that it? Yamazoe pointed to a small tent where a man was outside yelling. You know, it's kind of weird. This doesn't seem to have like a real plot. It seems to just be doing like the slice of life or like domestic drama style plot, which I'm fine with. I was kind of expecting like a serious like a more serious turn of events, I guess. We'll see. It's still enjoyable.
ほら、タクルも行こう。
Come on, let's go.
僕はいいよ。あんなの昔から当たったことなんてないし。尾上はよく当たってたけど。
I'll pass. I've never actually won one of these things. Oh no, I always used to though. Oh, I remembered Serika again.
もうそんなこと言わないで。ね。ほら、一等は最新型ポケコンだって。
Come on, don't be like that. Look, first prize is a brand new Pokecom, it says. Nono had very clearly heard what I said. But she was talking like nothing was unusual at all. That made me feel a lot better.
お願いします。
Thank you.
お嬢さんたち兄弟かい？
Hey, are you guys siblings?
わかります？
Can you tell?
そりゃあそれだけ仲良さそうならわかるってもんだ。
We all look like you're so close. I sure can.
ねえ、タクル。私たち家族に見えるって。
Tucker, he says that we look like a family. Yeah.
でも、嬉しいけど、ちょっと残念かな。
But that makes me happy, but also a little sad, maybe?
Huh?
I can sympathize, yeah. Bro.
はい。じゃあ全部で4回ね。
Okay, you get 4 draws in all.
はい。
Oh, sure.
4回だ
4
から。
draws means 1 for
ち
each
ょう
of
ど
us.
1人1回ね。タクルもやるのよ。
You're gonna help too, right, Takaru?
わかったよ。
Two, Takaru. A nice little rhyme there. Fine. Sad? Why?
あ、それじゃあ、最初は僕やってもいいかな。
Oh, can I go first then?
ええ、どうぞ。
Yeah, go ahead.
じゃあ、行くね。
Alright, here you go. Well, how'd it go? Sunset.
残念で
Sunset dusk. Ah, it's too bad.
僕、2等の携帯ゲーム欲しかったのに。
Oh, what are the portable game system at second place? Ah, PSP? Or a Switch, I guess.
ああいうのは当たらないようにできてるんだよ。そもそもちゃんと当たりが入っているのかどうかもわからないんだ。
Those ones are set up so you can't win. You don't even know if there's actually a winner mixed in the raffle.
そうなの？のの姉ちゃん。
Is that true, Nono? I don't know if that would be legal to do a raffle with no winner. Or to do a raffle where there is no actual winning prize tickets, so you just get to keep all the prizes and the money that people pay for entry. That seems a little bit sketch.
そんなことないわよ。ただ、そんなに簡単には当たらないでしょうね。でも、
No.
私はこれで十分。
It's not easy to win these. It's just not easy to win these. I'm happy with what I got though. Oh, what'd you get? Nono patted her 24 rolls of toilet paper and smiled. That's not bad. That's not bad. 24 rolls of toilet paper, sure. I'll take it as a consolation prize. It's not expensive, but it is a good you kind of need. Yamazoe and Yuto laughed. Only then did I remember. At night, Yuto always used to cry, or suddenly break out screaming. The trauma he'd experienced during the earthquake had given him scotophobia, fear of the darkness. Ever since we'd moved, that hadn't happened. Even after he'd lost his sister and adoptive father, he seems to be doing really well. Of course, part of that was due to Yuto's own efforts, but it wasn't possible to get over phobia just by working hard. Yeah, but there's like everyone sleeping in the same room as him, so he's probably a little more comfortable. A lot of it was probably thanks to Nono. Nono had become more of a mother than ever. She was looking out for everyone, and that's why Yuto and Yamazoe were able to smile.
はい、タクル。炊飯器で焼いたケーキ食べるでしょ？
Here, Tucker, you're having some of the cake we made in the rice cooker, right? They just need to hammer home how little I know about using rice cookers.
タクルはマウンテンビューがいいのよね。
You want a Mountain
ユ
Dew,
ートは
right?
ミルクで、
You
ユキ
two
ちゃん
wants
は
milk?
紅茶。
Uki wants tea? Takaru is an expensive person. He likes the rich drinks. Tea is dirt cheap. Mountain View is expensive. Milk, well, it goes bad, but as long as you're drinking it, it's not that expensive.
あのさ、
No, no.
ノノ。
When I said her name, she stopped what she was doing and turned around. And smiled.
まだそうやって呼んでくれるんだ。
You're gonna call me that again, huh?
当たり前だろ。ノノは
Of course.
ノノなんだし。
Your name's Nono, after all. Yeah. The days passed peacefully. Why did I want to be special? I didn't need to be special. I didn't have to be special. Chris had always told me that, so why did I only notice just now? How stupid had I been? Several more peaceful days passed. Okay, so it's been like 2 weeks since we've seen Serika or been to school. Unless it tells us we've been to school. And nothing interesting's happened, so it might just be a full slice of life. Shinjo would contact me once in a while, but all he ever asked was if Serika had contacted me. It meant the police hadn't found her either. I couldn't let my guard down, but nobody was capable of staying on edge 24 hours a day. With everything that lay ahead of me, I couldn't live in fear of Serika forever. I had some savings built up, but it wasn't enough for 4 people to subsist on forever. 2 weeks isn't too bad. I checked employment sites for a good part-time job. Customer service was out of the question. So was anything involving physical labor. Oh yeah, Takuru is an asshole. That would be a terrible idea. Can you imagine Takuru? Can you imagine Takuru as a customer service? Working customer service? Like, oh, excuse me, sir. Where are the iPhones? This fucking idiot doesn't know where the iPhones are. Oh my fucking god. And he just sits there and has a mental rant where he stares at the guy and he's like, leaves. It's like, alright, what a great guy. Yeah, I can see why he'd be terrible at customer service. Or, you know, the guy asks, what's on the Big Mac? And he just sits there and thinks, what a fucking, he's like, are there orange slices on a Big Mac? And he's like, oh my fucking god, this wrong cider. How dare he not know the exact composition of a Big Mac off the top of his head, like he hasn't been to McDonald's a million times. Like, how does he not know that we don't use sliced onions, we use diced onions, or we use like micro onions or whatever the fuck they're called. Tiny little tiny pieces, whatever. So it's anything involved with physical labor. I looked for something that dealt with information, but of course I couldn't find anything. Yeah, you want an IT job that's part-time? Those are really hard to find, man. With no experience, not even a high school diploma, that's really hard to find. Part of me thought about asking Kunosada if she needed help with Shibuya News, but from the look of her apartment, she probably didn't have enough money to hire me either. No, wait. If we put more ads or something on the Shibuya News page and tried to get some affiliate income... Suddenly there was a knock at the door.
タクル。
Tucker. Nono was in the center of the room sewing something. She tensed up. It's gonna be Kunosado or something stupid. I don't think it's Serika. Only a few people knew about this apartment. Or could it be Serika? Serika doesn't even know where you live. Oh, answer the door! I silently motioned for the others to gather in the corner of the room and softly went to the door and reached out for the knob. Before I could open it, the door flung open from the outside.
なんだ、開いてるじゃん。
Hey, what's up? It's Arimura. Why does Arimura know this place? Not that I mind. Arimura, what's up? Peeking through the door were Arimura and Anna. Alright. How's it going, Hannah? Nice to see you again.
有村さん、それに和樹も。
And Kazuki?
チャオス、お久しぶりっすね、先輩方。
It's been a while, guys. Yeah. Planning on showing up to school again?
お前ら、何しに来たんだよ。
What are you doing here?
あらまたこらまた。全然学校に来ない上、連絡すらくれない先輩方の様子を見に来た可愛い後輩2人に向かって、ずいぶんなご挨拶じゃないっすか。
Oh dear, is that any way to talk to your friends when they've come to check on you after you stopped coming to school and answering our messages? Well, yeah, we've been busy playing the domestic life, just living as a happy married couple with 2 children. We're too busy for school now. We're getting into our hardcore live-action role-playing. Like, you thought you played house hardcore when you were a 2-year-old? No. We're doing this for real. Making actual food, buying groceries, buying toilet paper, going on walks, all the things. Except the stuff you actually do when you're a couple. Yeah, that stuff. Screw that stuff. Alright.
Yeah,
No,
それには事情が。
there was a reason for that.
なるほど。ふむふむ。ここが先輩方の愛の巣ってわけですか。
I see. So this is your love nest, huh? Arimura grinned wickedly as she stared at the room.
愛の巣って何言ってるの？私たちは家族みんなで。
Love nest? What are you talking about? We're a family.
ああ、とにかく上がっていいっすか？お邪魔します。
Anyway, can I come in? I'm coming in. Well, Arimura is clearly not a vampire. She came inside without waiting for an answer or even taking her shoes off. She never did listen to what anybody had to say.
というわけで、遠慮なくくつろいでね、花。
Go on in and relax, Hannah. Make yourself feel at home.
有村は少しぐらい遠慮しろよ。
Arimura, you should probably make yourself feel a little less at home.
ああ、お構いなく。私、安物のお茶でも気にしませんから。
Oh, don't worry about me. The cheap tea is fine. This girl.
それにしても、これはまた思った以上のボロさですね。世界遺産ものですよ。
Anyway, this place is more of a crap hole than I expected. It's honestly kind of impressive. At this point, I was wasting my time even trying to say anything.
ユウトもウキも元気そうで何よりね。
Glad to see Yuto and Yuki are doing well too.
お久しぶりです。
It's been a while, man.
おかげさまで。
Thank you. The two of them looked relieved to see the identities of our sudden visitors.
まったく、二人とも相変わらずね。安心したわ。
Glad to see you two haven't changed. Nono must have been happy to see them because she had a big grin on her face.
学校の方はどう？
How are things at school?
先輩たちが来ない以外は普段通りぼちぼちですよ。ねえ、花。
Nothing's changed except you guys aren't there anymore, right, Hannah? Arimura is great. Nice to see you again, Arimura. I was worried we wouldn't see you again. I didn't really care about school, but Nono was the student council president. It must have been bothering her. You gonna come back to school this week?
お前らどうやってここが分かったんだ？
Anyway, how'd you find out about this place?
やっぱ気になります？
Oh,
それ。
you wanna know? I bet you do. I've been trying to keep it a secret, so of course I did.
聞いたんですよ、新庄さんに。
We asked Shinjo. It turned out to be a simple matter.
最初は知らないってとぼけてましたけど、私にそんな嘘ついても無駄だっていうのに、ほんと学習しないんだから、あの刑事さん。
At first he said he didn't know. Is he ever going to learn he can't lie to me? He fucked up. He fucked up and forgot. Oh. So he'd had no choice but to tell her then.
ってことは、人通りのことは。
So you know about everything else?
いやー、やられましたよ。まさか私の能力を知ってて、のらりくらりとかわされてたとはね。敵ながらあっぱれです。
Yeah, wow. Who would have thought she knew all about my ability and was able to fool me? Enemy or not, I'm impressed. I knew instantly she was talking about Serika. Not saying the name was probably her way of trying to make me feel better. She's like Voldemort now, she who must not be named. She was more delicate in things like that than you might expect because she'd spent so much time worrying about what other people were thinking.
それにしても、先輩も物好きっすね。よりによって隣が。
Anyway, it must suck living next to... There was a pounding on the wall before she could finish her sentence.
ダメよ。見た目通り壁薄いんだから、全部聞こえちゃうわよ。
Be careful, the walls are as thin as they look so she can hear everything you say.
聞こえちゃうっていうか、 聞いてるんじゃないですか？
Bet she can
コ
hear
ッ
it
プと
because
か
she's
壁にくっ
trying
つけ
to.
て。
Like she's holding a cup up against the wall or something. More pounding. Maybe Arimura was right.
こらカズキも対抗心燃やして壁殴ろうとしないの。
Kazuki, don't pound the wall back. It's not a competition. Kazuki's like, I'm disappointed. This is what I wanted. Just having the two of them here in this place feel like the club room.
そうそう、それでですね、
Right,
私
right.
たちが今日やってきた目的はですね。
As for the reason we're here today, Arimura suddenly stood up and left the room.
ねえ、花も手伝ってよ。
Come on, Hannah, help me. Now it was Kazuki's turn to disappear. The two of them carried a large object into the
ちょ
room.
っとこれって物質の。
Wait, this is from the club room. It was the map we used to track the case.
なんでわざわざこれをここに？
Why'd you bring this all the way here? That's a very good question. Why is the map here?
花がどうしても持っていくって言うんだもん。
Hannah said she was bringing it no matter what, but why?
和樹が？
Kazuki did? Okay, Fran.
先輩たちが後ろでワイワイやっててくれないと演数やってても張り合いがないんだって。
She said ESO 2 wasn't as much fun without you guys talking behind her.
でも先輩たちは来ないでしょ。だったらこっちから出向くしかないってなわけで、こ
Kurosawa's
れから
gonna kill
は
her.
ここが物質ということで一つ。
But you guys aren't coming to school, right? So we have to go to you. Which means from now on, this is the club room. How selfish could you be? Maybe someone else might let her get away with it, but
一つって見てわかるでしょう。ここにいきなりそんな大きなものを持ってこられて
you
も
don't have
困
room
る
for
わ。
that thing. Just look around. What are you talking about? I can see that there is a wall to your left. There's a wall behind you and to your right, and a wall to your right. I think this one is a small panel, so there's not space, but there's space right here. Lots of space. See, the Empress would... The
で
Empress...
ももう持ってきちゃったんで、
We already brought
あ
it
とは
here.
捨
It's
てる
yours
なり
now.
なんなり好きにしてください。
Throw it out or do whatever you want with it. Nono sighed and shrugged her shoulders. She must have realized she was wasting her time. She lost. Hine Arimura could be a very scary woman to deal with.
それでは反対もないようなので、ここに碧峰学園新聞部出張所の発足式を行いたいと思います。
Right. Since we have no objections, I'd like to declare this place an outpost for the Hekiho Academy Newspaper Club. Arimura took out some Mountain View from the fridge and began to hand it to everyone. Ah, a toast. I didn't even feel up to complaining anymore.
皆さん準備はいいですか？
Everybody ready? Oh, I'm ready. Yeah, Kazuki applauded mechanically, a blank expression on her face. Great job. Eh.
それでは乾杯。
All right, cheers. See, a toast.
乾杯です。
Cheers.
乾杯。
Poor Takura, we're depleting his stock of Mountain View. He'll have to go to the store and buy some. That's like an entire day. That's an entire week's worth of Mountain View for him. Plastic bottles hitting each other didn't exactly make for a good toast.
どうしたの有村さん。
Wrong armor.
宮代先輩とクルス先輩はここで毎晩しとねを共にしてるわけですよね。
So you and Miyashiro, you're sleeping together in the same room here every night?
しとねって変な言い方しないで。共同生活をしてるのよ。ほら兄弟なんだから普通でしょ。
Don't make it
そ
sound.
れにユウトとウキちゃんも一緒だし。
Don't make it sound weird. We're all living in the same room because we're a family, and Yuto and Uki are here. That makes it even weirder, Nono. Kazuki must have found Arimura's words funny, because she was holding her stomach and laughing. I never did understand her sense of humor.
なるほど。
I like
4
it.
人で一つ屋根の下ですか。楽しそうですね。
So it's the four of you all in the same place. That sounds fun.
そうだ花。私たちも一緒にここで暮らそうか。
Hey, Hannah, why don't we live here too?
はあ？
What was she talking
あ
about?
のな、僕たちは別に遊びでここに暮らしてい
Hey,
るわけじゃない
we're
ぞ。
not living here because it's fun.
そうよ。それにこの部屋にこれ以上人が増えたらとてもじゃないけど暮らしていけ
That's
ない
right.
わ。
And there's no room for anyone else here. This is probably a one bathroom place too. 6 people in one bathroom probably doesn't sound like a lot of fun in the morning.
ああ、そうですか？
Oh, really?
寝るところなら何とでもなるし、みんなでお金を出し合えば家賃だって一人頭換算少なくて済みますよ。
We could probably find a place to sleep, and if we all live together, we could cut down on rent. It's actually true. Generally, it's most expensive to buy a one bedroom, and it's like less expensive to buy a second bedroom because all you're adding is one room instead of adding 3 rooms, right? Alright. For some reason, Kazuki was nodding rapidly in agreement. This is quite an efficient proposal. If they get a 3 or 4 bedroom apartment, that would be way cheaper than having 2 1 bedrooms. Or like, because they're living in a rundown 1 bedroom right now with like 4 people. And if they get 2 people who each want their own rooms, they might actually be able to save enough money if everyone's chipping in sort of equally to actually get like an extra room to get like a 4 bedroom instead.
そんなこと言ってもだな。
Still.
それに、ほら、見てくださいよ、今のこの
It's
状
more. Look
態。
at this place. Arimura stood in the middle of the room and spun around, her arms outstretched like a stage actress. They also can't just leave, they just signed a lease, right? They're stuck in this apartment for a year, or at least paying the rent for a year. Either way, that's brutal. Like, that's a great idea, but you have to wait a year for this.
ね？
See?
何がね、なんだ。
See what?
もう、ニブチンさんなんだから、いいですか？今この部屋の中には男子が2人、女子が4人。
You're so
い
dense.
わば
Listen.
宮代先輩のほぼハーレム状態。
You're so dense. Listen, there's 4 girls and 2 boys in here right now. It's practically a harem for you, Miyashiro. Practically means it isn't, though. He's like, it's not good enough.
おい、お前たち。
Hey, you guys. Kunasato burst through the door and screamed.
隣で騒ぐなと何度も言っているだろうが。
I told you
いい
before,
加減
don't
に
make so much goddamn noise.
ああ、いいところに。ねえ、あなたも一緒にどうですか？
Oh, perfect timing. Why don't you join us?
一緒に？
Join you?
またまた、話聞いてたんでしょ？みんなで一緒に暮らしませんかって話ですよ。
Oh, come on. You were listening, right? Why don't we all live together?
お前、頭に虫でも湧いているんじゃないか。
Is your head filled with maggots
ど
or
う
something?
して
Why would I
私
want
がお
to?
前たちと。
生活費、楽になりますけど。
You'd save on living expenses? See? Hine knows it. Hine knows. Hine knows that she's saving it. She'd save money. She fell silent. Wait, was she seriously considering it?
冗談じゃない。どうして私がお前たちと共同生活を送らなければならないんだ。バカも休み言え。
Hell no. Why would I want to live with you people? That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. That's right. It's a family sitcom now. We're a family sitcom now. See? She shot the idea right down.
とにかく、これ以上やかましく騒ぐんじゃない。次に騒いだら、脳に電極ぶっ刺してやるからな。
Anyway, no more noise. Any more and I'll jam electrodes in your brains. Alright, thanks, Kunasato. Kunasato slammed the door shut loud enough to bother the other neighbors. It didn't seem like she was joking.
ほんと、相変わらず冗談の通じない人。
Really, she doesn't get when someone's joking.
お前たちが無駄に
It's your
騒ぐ
fault
から
for
だ
making so much noise for no reason.
失敬な、無駄なんかじゃないっすよ。
How
私
rude.
た
I
ち
have
の
a
れっ
very
き
good
とした
reason
重
for...
大な用が。あ、実はね、今日来た理由はもう一つあって。
Actually, there was another reason we came here today. A plot? A plot hook? Maybe? Armor clapped her hands together as if she'd only just remembered.
伊藤先輩のお見舞い、行きません？
Oh, okay. Want to visit Ito in the hospital? You haven't even bothered to see this guy. We heard Ito had been released, but I didn't know he'd recovered enough to meet with people. He was still considered a person of interest in the case, so they were refusing most visitors, but Arimura said we could get Shinjo to let us in. For his part, Shinjo probably hoped we could get some information from Ito. If Arimura was there, we could tell if Ito was telling the truth. I wanted to know how Ito was doing too. We decided to have Yuto and Yamazoe stay with Momose while we were gone. She had already taken care of Yamazoe before, so we knew it would be safe. Ito's room was on the top floor of the hospital. There were detectives stationed around the floor, but Shinjo must have sent word because they let us straight through.
伊藤
Ito. Hey, how's it going, Ito? Ito looked at us from the bed and grinned just a little.
宮代、それにみんなも来てくれたのか。
Miyashiro, guys, you came to see me, huh?
まあな
Yeah, I guess.
でどうだ
How you
調
doing?
子は
調子か。体調は悪くないと思う。
How am I doing? Not bad. Probably. I expected Ito to be barely conscious. But his color was good, and he didn't seem to be in a lot of pain, but...
思ったより元気そうでよかった。あ、これお見舞い。果物くらいは食べられるんでしょ？
You're doing better than I thought. Oh, I brought you these. You can eat fruit, right?
ああ、悪いな。気を使ってもら
Yeah,
っちま
thanks.
って。
That was nice of you. Fruit's expensive. It felt like the energy that had made Ito himself had vanished.
それでその
So, I started to talk and then fell silent. From what I'd heard, Ito lost all his memories of the incident. I wanted to see if that was true, but how to ask?
その、ゆいちゃんのことだろ。
You hear about Yui, right?
覚えてるのか
Do you remember?
一応な。刑事さんにも聞かれてるしさ。
A little. The cops told me what happened. I couldn't tell if he was smiling or
ご
crying.
めんな。俺がちゃんと守ってやれれば、ゆいちゃんだって助かったかもしれないのにな。
Sorry, if I'd been able to protect her, maybe Yui would have survived. I was actually just thinking, like, well, it could have been worse. It could have been worse. Remember, we could have just run Uki through for threatening Ito after he killed Yui.
伊藤君、ユイが助かったかもってど
Ito,
ういうこと？
what do you mean she might have survived?
だって、俺の目の前で殺されたんだろ。
I
彼
mean,
女。
she was killed right in front of me, wasn't she? Ah, he doesn't know. What was going on?
悪いな。本当に覚えてないんだよ。俺、この数週間の間、何があったのか。
I'm sorry, I really don't remember what happened over the past few weeks.
なんというのか、こう、ありがちな言い方だけど、もやがかかったみたいっていうかさ。だから正直、なんで自分がこんなところにいるのかもわからねえんだよ。
It's like it sounds like something you'd hear in a movie, but it's like everything's shrouded in fog. To be honest, I don't even know what I'm doing here. I looked at Arimura. She nodded silently. It meant he was telling the truth. Suddenly, Ito looked around the room in surprise.
そういえば、尾上はどうしたんだ？
Wait, where's Onoe?
Oh.
Oh.
なんか静かだと思ったら、
Bad news, buddy.
あいつがいないからか。何かあったのか？
I thought it was kind of quiet. I guess that's because she's not here. Did something happen?
いや
Well,
ちょっとね、学校で居残りだって。
don't lie like that. She's stuck at school, she said. Well, that's a lie. Sound,
あいつらしいや。
that sounds just like her. Wait, what? How does it sound like her?
伊藤先輩にもよろしく伝えてくれって言ってましたよ。
She said to say hello.
そうか。
Also a lie.
まあ、顔見られないのは残念だけど、そのうち来るよう言っといてくれよ。病室ってのはどうにも退屈でさ。
I see. Well, I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to see her, but tell her to come by sometime. A hospital room is the most boring place in the world. I believe it. You're not dying, it's pretty boring. If he didn't remember, there was no need to force him to.
伊藤君、
Ito?
悪い。久しぶりにいろいろ思い出そうとしたら、ちょっと疲れたみたいだ。
Sorry, I tried to remember things, and I guess it tired me out.
そう。
それじゃあ私たちそろそろおいとまするわ。
See, we should go then.
わざわざ来てくれたのに悪いな。
Sorry to make you come all this
い
way.
や、いいんだ。気にするな。
It's fine, don't worry about it. Alright, we had our hospital at Ito. Ito sank into the bed and smiled at us weakly as we left the room. Unfortunately, it was true, he didn't remember anything. He hadn't just forgotten, he'd replaced the bad memories with ones that were better for him. He was a victim too, in a way. It wasn't right to blame him and force him to confront the truth. I felt conflicted about it, though. Would Nono and I ever truly be able to be friends with him again? I wondered about that as I headed for home. Nothing happened for the next 2 days. Serika was still leaving us alone. It might be time for me to head back to school. But with Yuto and Yamazoe to worry about, maybe it was still too soon. And then, she showed up again.
チャオっす先輩方。あ、ウキッチもユートッチも。
Ciao, guys. Oh, Ukichi and Yutochi. Hi there.
チャオスです。
How?
です。
She just says Desu and it's like, ciao. She'd won Yuto and Yamazoe over too.
それで、今日は何しに来たんだよ。
So, what are you doing here today?
あらまあ。
Gotta be time for winter break,
随分とご挨拶です
right?
ね。この
been
前
like
言ったじゃ
3
ないですか。ここが
Been like
碧峰
3
学園新聞部出張所だって。
Well, aren't you a bundle of sunshine today? I told you the other day, didn't I? This place is now the Hekiho Academy Newspaper Club's outpost. The cork board was already situated behind us. I couldn't see it from here, but I would if I looked around. Made the whole place feel
部
cramped.
活はそれぞれの自主性に任せる。だからわざわざここに来る必要はない。そもそも有村、お前文芸部だろ。
I'm letting the club members do their own thing for a while, so there's no need for you to be here. And you're in the literature club anyway, aren't you?
いや
Good call, good call.
文芸部で培った文章作成のスキルを新聞部でも役立てればと。それに今日は頼まれ物があってわざわざ来たんですからね。
I've been hoping I could put the writing skills I developed in the literature club to use here, and I'm here on an errand. You know, I'm thinking there's not going to be a plot here, actually. At this distance into the route, I feel like we're just going to be hanging out doing some sort of slice of life, relaxed living stuff. Because, like, I think at this point in the other routes, we always had, like, at least a few hints of some sketchy stuff going on. In the dream world, we obviously had Uki running around pretty quickly after a few scenes, and we had, like, some sketchy stuff where things weren't quite right. In the other routes, we'd clearly diverged. In this one, we've diverged, but there's, like, basically nothing happening. So I don't actually have an idea of when this one's going to end. As generally, if you have a plot, you know when it ends, but this is like, this could go on forever. Alright, so you're here on an errand. What are you here for, Hina?
感謝される言われはあれど、文句言われる筋合いはないはずです。えへん。
Should be thanking me, not getting mad. Oh. Armor puffed at her chest proudly.
頼まれ物？
There's not a lot of chest to puff out there. Alright. An errand?
残念ながら宮代先輩ではなくクルス先輩に。
Unfortunately, it's not for you. It's for Chris.
私に何かしら。
For me? What? Okay.
さあ、ただこれを渡してくれって川原先輩が。
I don't know, but Kawahara said to give this to you.
川原くんが？
Kawahara did? Just as Nono took a stack of handouts from Armor, her phone began to ring. She looked at the screen and ignored it. I didn't intend to look from where, but from where I was sitting, I caught a glimpse of it. It was Kawahara, the person we were just talking about.
いいんすか？
You sure you don't want to answer that?
後で折り返すわ。
I'll call him back later. I don't
生
think
徒
she
会
ever
関
has.
係のことかも。
Might be about the student council, though.
それはちゃんと全員に連絡して滞りなくやってもらってるから大丈夫よ。
I spoke with the rest of the members. Everything's going smoothly. It's fine. What did he want, then? That's a second call. Nono's phone rang again. And at the same time, there was a knock on the door. That was Kawahara on the phone. Who was at the door? Was it Serika?
タクル
Tension filled the room. With the phone ringing, we couldn't pretend no one was here. Should we answer or not? Just as I finally decided to stand up and answer it.
クルスいるんだろ僕だ川原だ
For a secret place, fucking everybody knows this place is here. Cruz, you're in here, right? It's me, Kawahara. Open up. Oh, it was Kawahara, the boy who was calling on the phone.
突然訪ねてきてすまないでもこうでもしないと会えないと思ったから
Sorry to barge in like this, but I thought it was the only way I'd get to see you. Kawahara bowed as he came
も
inside.
しかしてさっきの電話は
That phone call?
イルスでも使われると困るからな悪いとは思ったけど確かめさせてもらった
Nice. Nice plan, by the way. I didn't want you pretending not to be here. I felt bad, but I decided to check. In a cheap apartment like this, you could hear the phone ringing from the hallway. You must have figured that out. But why did he have to go through all this trouble? Maybe Serika was controlling him like she'd done with Ita? Either way, it'd be best to be careful.
それから気づいているだろうが有村に頼み事をしたのもクルスたちの住んでいる場所を知るためだそのことについても謝る
You probably already figured it out, but I asked Arimura to bring you those papers so I can find out where you lived. Sorry.
そうだったんですか？
Yeah? Wait, was I followed?
それじゃあ私つけられて
So in conclusion, don't trust Arimura with not being followed or getting to any safe or secure locations. Secret locations, because she's going to give it away immediately. She evidently hadn't noticed. I whispered in her ear.
おい嘘はわかるんじゃなかったのか
Can't you tell when someone's lying?
だってこれ持ってってくれって頼まれただけでそれだけなら嘘じゃないし
You just told me to take these to her. That's not a lie. What a useless power.
その川原くんどうしてそんなことを
Kawahara, why did you do all this? Nono glanced at Yuto and Yamazoe, who were shaking in fear in a corner of the room.
決まってるだろクルスが学校に来ないからだ
Why else? Because you're not coming to school?
だからそれに関しては言ったじゃない今は大変な時だからって
Really busy right now.
大
Busy
変な
not
のは
being
わかる
murdered.
でもだからっていつまでもこうやって休んでるのはおかしいだろ
I know you're busy, but you can't stay home forever. Alright.
それにはいろいろと事情があるのよ
I got my reasons. Reasons like someone's trying to murder me? Might be trying to murder me?
だったら
Reasons? If
そ
you
の
got
事情
reasons,
って
then
やつ
tell
を
me.
説明してくれよ
それは
That's so silent. She certainly couldn't tell him Serika might be after her life.
俺には相談できないことなのか
Something you can't tell me?
ごめん
Sorry.
もしかしてそいつのせいじゃないだろうな
It's not because of him, is it?
Oh.
Oh, it's always Taku. Kawahara looked at me.
そうかやっぱり宮代のせいなんだなまた宮代がクルスを巻き込んでるんだろだから学校に来られないんだなそうだな
He's
So
jelly. He's jelly. I see, it is him, isn't it? You got you caught up in something again? That's why you can't come to school, right? Right?
いや
No, it's not really his fault this time. I wanted to say something back, but I couldn't. It was partially my fault after all. Serika did all this because she thought it would make me happy, which meant that the reason we were stuck here was my fault.
おい宮代俺は言ったなクルスを巻き込むなと
Hey Mishiro, I told you not to get Kurus caught up in your crap. Is he gonna beat us up again?
いや
He's a bit of a bully for a school VP.
違うの川原くんタクルのせいじゃないの
Kawahara, it's not Kuru's fault.
だったらなんで来られないんだよ
Why can't you come to school?
それは家族のことだから川原くんには
Because of my family, it's none of your business.
家族って言ったってどうせ本物の家族じゃないだろ
Well, you call them family, but they're not your real family, are you? Yeah, my real family's dead, thanks, dipshit. Nono gonna slap him. No, slap him. I could see Yuto freeze in the corner of the room. Yamazoe was next to him, rubbing him gently on the back. Kawahara hadn't noticed the change that had overtaken the rest of the room. He was still talking.
宮代
Nono's
だって
gonna slap you.
今一緒に住んでる奴らだって所詮は家族ごっこだろ。そもそも付き合いなら俺たちの方が長いはずじゃないか。
Miyashiro, these other people you're living with, you're all just playing at being a pretend family, right? And anyway, I've known you for longer than any of them.
やめて。
Stop it.
なあ、子供の頃俺たち
We've always been
いつも
together.
一緒だっただろ。
Ever since we were
俺
kids.
とクルスと、それから南沢と。
You, me, Minamisawa.
俺はさ、あの頃から俺はクルス、
See, I said he was jealous.
お前のことが好きだったんだよ。
Ever since then, I've always loved you. There we go, it's confession time. What? Another shockwave went through the room. It was a sudden confession of love. Of course, even I knew Kawahara was in love with Nono. That was obvious. But I didn't expect him to say it in front of so many people. Even Arimura was stunned into silence. It was Arimura, not Nono, right? Yeah.
クルス、
I'll say it again. Cruz,
俺は君の。
待って川原くん。
stop, Kawahara.
その話はまた違う時に。
We can talk some other time. That is a ice cold rejection. Damn. It's like, oh, we'll talk some other time. That's not a yes.
証人もいることだし、この際だからきちんと言っておく。
There are witnesses.
俺は君が好きだ、クルス。
I want to say this in front of them. I love you, Karus. There's no way this ends well.
川原くん。
Kawahara.
なんで
What?
そんな困った顔するんだよ
Why do。you look so upset?
だって。
Because
お前だって分かってただろ。俺がお前のこと好きだって。
you know I liked you, right?
それは。
Well,
子供の頃だって俺は本当はいつだってお前と二人でいたかったんだ。南様の存在も邪魔だった。こいつどこかへ行ってくれればいいのにって思ってた。
even when we were younger, I always wanted to be alone with you. Even Minamisawa was in the way. I wish she would just disappear. Yeah,
でもお前
Minamisawa
はい
disappeared
つも
pretty
あいつ
well.
を暴れんで。どこへ行くに
Pretty well.
千里も一緒に千里も一緒にって。俺がどれだけあいつがいなくなればいいって思ってたかわかるか。
But you always took pity on her. Wherever you went, Sanrio was with you. Do you know how much I wanted her to go away? Nono's face twisted in pain. And now he's doing okay. This is some serious BM. He's like, okay, so I get that one of our friends is dead, but I literally did nothing but wish they would get away from here. It's like, oh yeah, you wish their death, great. Oh. Yeah, I'd be cringing hardcore too here. I'd be like, dude, man, isn't she supposed to be one of your best friends? And you're just like, I wish nothing but to get rid of her. I wish she was fucking gone. Like, okay. Okay, bro. Good to know you appreciate your friends. Must have hurt to hear him talk about her friend like this. Yeah, I'd be like, wow, that's fucking cold. Normally Kawahara would have picked up on that. But after coming out in front of so many people and saying that he liked her, blood must have rushed to his head. And not that head, the other one. Alright.
やっとだ。やっとあいつが南沢がいなくなってくれたと思ったのに。そしたら今度は家族だって。冗談じゃない。
I finally thought I was rid of her, and now you're telling me you've got a family? The hell?
宮代なんかより俺の方がずっとお前のこと知ってる。お前のこと分かってやってる。
I know so much more about you than Mishiro. I understand you.
なあ、クルス。
Come on, Karus. Kawahara looked straight into Nono's eyes. I could see that his eyes were a little bloodshot.
もう一度言う。俺はお前のこと好きだ。
I'll say it again. I love you. You love me
俺
too.
の気持
Don't
ち受け入れてくれるよな。
Nono glanced around the room, looking upset as everyone watched in silence, and finally she frowned and bit her lip.
川原くんの気持ちは嬉しい。
Oh, this is gonna be painful, isn't it? I'm happy you feel that way, Kawahara.
それじゃあ
でもごめんなさい。私、川原くんの気持ち
I'm
受け取
sorry.
れない。
I don't love you back. Well, it was straightforward and to the point. Alright.
どうして？
What? Why? Kawahara's voice rose in anger.
どうしてだよ。宮代か？こんな奴のどこがいいんだ？
Is it Miyashiro? What is it about me that you like? Dude, just take a fucking chill pill, man.
そういうところよ。
That's the problem.
は？
What?
タクルは私の弟よ。そうやって弟のこと悪く言われて喜ぶ姉がいると思う？
We just got seriously friend-zoned again. He's my little brother. Do you like it when anyone in the world... You think anyone in the world likes it when you insult their brother? I mean, actually, yes. I'm sure there's plenty of people who really don't like their brother, but anyway.
弟だって
In this case, no.
赤の他人だ。
He's not your brother, he's a stranger.
でも私にとっては大事な家族なの。
To me, he's part of my family. No.
彼女の千里のことだってそう。私は別に彼女のことを憐れんでたわけじゃない。
Same with her.
だってあの子は私の大切な友達だもの。
I wasn't with her out of pity. She was my friend. Yeah, don't speak poorly of your friends. If they were really your friends.
それにあの子はもう死んでしまったのよ。死んだ友達のこと悪く言うなんて。
Yeah, she's dead
川
now.
原くん、
How can you talk like that about a friend of yours that died? You're like, man, oh, I'm glad they're gone. I thought I was finally rid of them. Like, oh yeah, thanks. What a great person. How do you talk like that about a friend of yours who died? Kawahara looked like he was about to say something, but then closed his mouth in
お願い
frustration.
よ。今は
Please, just
帰っ
leave.
て。
Yeah, that was like the biggest... That's a pretty... That was a fairly diplomatic, Harry. Good job, Nono. It wasn't too
ク
painful.
リス。
お願いだから帰って。
You fucked up,
少し
buddy.
頭を冷やして。そうしたらいつもの川原くんに戻ってくれるって信じてるから。
Please leave. Calm down a bit. I'm sure that when you do, you'll be back to being the Kawahara I know.
わかったよ。今日のところは帰るよ。
Fine. I'll leave. For now. He headed for the door.
くそ！
Damn it. And smashed it shut as he cursed. Well, that was our drama for the day. Tension drained from the room and I can finally take a breath.
ごめんねみんな。嫌な思いをさせて。ユウトも怖かったよね。
Sorry about that, everyone. That must have really scared you, huh, Yuta?
僕はのの姉ちゃんが断ってくれてよかったって。
I'm glad you told him no, no, no. I'm glad you told him no, no, no. Alright.
私もあの人
I don't like
苦
him
手です。
either. Does anybody like the student council VP? It didn't seem like Kawahara was very popular. Not that I didn't know why.
タクルもごめん。
Kakeru, I should apologize to you too. Yeah, this guy's a...
いい
Kawahara's
や
a bit of a dick.
僕は言われるのは慣れてるから。
No, I'm used to it.
もう。そうだ、お茶入れよ。ね、
I know.
気分変えましょう。
Let's make some tea and try and cheer up a bit. Yeah, that was a heavy, heavy bit. That was a heavy scene. Let's lighten it up. The tiny room was still soon filled with the scent of British tea, and peace finally returned. Except,
有村、どうした？
Arimura, what's wrong?
いえ、
Nothing. Arimura would sometimes look at Nono as if she was thinking about something. And then the next day...
いやー、この部屋寒いっすね。暖房とかないんですか？
This room is so cold. Don't you guys have a heater?
おい、なんで今日も来るんだよ。
Why are you... Yeah, why are you still here, Arimura? Did you just, like, crash at our place? Why?
だから部活だって言ってるじゃないですか。
Told you it's part of the club.
その割には 部活らしい活動なんて何一つし
Don't
てな
seem
いじ
to
ゃ
be
ない
doing
か。
anything newspaper club related though.
それは部長が指針を示さないからです。
Well, that's why you're. It's because you're not giving us any instructions, club president.
しばらくは各自の自主性に任せるって言っただろ
I。told you. I'm letting people do their own thing for a while. Which is to say nothing because you didn't leave them any instructions. You have to leave them instructions and be like, you can handle this on your own, right? Come on, don't be a shitty manager, Miyashiro.
指示とかないとひなえどうしていいかわかんない。
What? But without instructions, poor little Hinai doesn't know what to do. Okay? Okay. I wanted to punch her. I wanted to punch her right then and there.
いいじゃない。
Really?
どうせ毎日退屈してるところでしょ。
I don't see the problem. We're always bored all the time anyway, right? Basically, yeah.
さすがクルス先輩は宮代先輩と違って話がわかるなあ。クッキーおいしい。
See, Kurus gets it even if you don't. Wow, these cookies are good. Armor was already digging into the tea and cookies Nono had made. Nono being an excellent host.
もしかしてこれっておからですか？
This Okara? What is Okara?
あ、わかる？おからもらったから試しに作ってみたの。
Oh, you can tell. Someone give me Okara, so I tried it. Nom 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 nom. Is that any good?
でも嬉しいわ。タクルったらそういうの全然わかってくれないんだも
Makes me
ん。
happy. Takaru never understands this stuff. What's Okara?
そんなこと分かったところで世の中の情報とは何の関係もないだろう。知識っていうのはもっと別のところで培うものであって。
Understanding this stuff has nothing to do with information. Knowledge needs to be used for other purposes.
はいはい、わかった
Yes,
わかった。
yes, we get it. Armor grinned as she watched us.
何？
What?
なんだかすっかりおしどり夫婦の貫禄ですな。
Wow, you two look like a couple. Exactly. I've been saying that.
バカ言うな。
Don't be stupid.
家族なんだから当たり前だろ。
Don't be stupid. We're family, so it's normal.
そうよ、家族なんだもの。
That's right. We're family. Yes, and you're the parents.
家族ね。
Family, huh? Yes, I approve with Hannah's suspicious chewing.
なーに？
いえ、別にいいですけど。そうそう、それより実は今日は先輩方に聞きたいことがあって来たんですけど。
It doesn't matter. Anyway, there was something I wanted to ask you two today. That's why I came here. Okay. All that wasted time and now this. An entire day of this? If she wanted something, she should have said so.
クルス先輩って南沢千里って人とお友達だったんですよね。
Cruz, you were friends with that girl named Senri Minamisawa, right?
え？
Huh? I leaned forward, surprised to be hearing that name now.
ほら、昨日そんな話をしてたでしょ？それでちょっと気になって。
Yeah, this is interesting. All right, you remember? You were talking about it yesterday, right? I was wondering about it.
ええ、小学校の頃よく一緒に遊んでたわ。川原くんと3人で。
Yeah, we used to play all the time in elementary school. It was just us two in Kawahara.
それじゃあ南沢さんってどんな人だったんです？
Oh, what was she like?
どうしてそんなこと聞くの？
Why are you asking this?
いやいや、ちょっと興味がありまして。
No reason. I was just a little curious. I was curious too. Senri Minamisawa was the girl we saw in the AH Tokyo General Hospital when I was a kid, the one we'd left behind. I'd always thought she might be the killer, but now that I knew I was wrong. I'd only seen her for an instant, but she'd had a huge effect on my life. Thinking back, it was strange I hadn't asked about her before. Hannah Kazuki being like, we need to be reminded that Hannah's still in the room and she doesn't say anything, so they're just like, Kazuki must have been interested too, because she was leaning forward and listening intently.
千里はおとなしい子だったわ。大勢の中に入っていくのが苦手で、私たち以外のことはあまり遊びたがらなくて。
Senri was a very quiet girl. She didn't like crowds and didn't really play with the other kids.
でも優しい子だったわ。
She was really nice.
なるほどなるほど。じゃあ彼女の家庭環境について。
I see. Tell me about her family.
それはごめんなさい。 彼女の家のこととかあまりよく知らないのよ。だからもういいでしょ。
I'm sorry, I don't really know a lot about her family. Can we stop talking about this?
でもお友達だったんですよね。
But you're friends, right?
友達だってお家のことまでは普通知らないでしょ。それに私そろそろ夕飯の支度もしなきゃいけないし。
Friends don't normally know that much about each other's families, do they? Anyway, I have to get dinner ready.
ああ、こいつは失敬。私ったらついジャーナリストの血が騒いじゃって。
Ah, my apologies. My journalist blood got the better of me.
何がジャーナリストだよ。それらしい活動
She's a
なんて一度
literature
も
club member. The literature club president at that. Journalist blood, you've never written a story in a news story in your life.
それじゃあんまりゆっくりしてもご迷惑でしょうし、私たちは帰りますかね。
Anyway, we don't want to stay too long and be a bother. We'll be heading home.
あ、
Armor grabbed Kazuki's hand just before she could take another cookie, then stood up. It'd be rude to take a cookie home with
と
you.
いうわけで送ってください、宮代先輩。
Well, like, eliminate an excuse. Drag her out. Walk us home, Miyashiro.
は
Why
なんで
me?
僕が
だって事件はまだ終わってないんですよ。そんな中か弱い女の子2人だけを帰らせるなんて
Ooh, the
状
right
況
side
の
her
することじゃ
head.
ないですよね。
The right side. She's really digging into him. Damn. The killer hasn't been caught yet, right? No real right sider would let two defenseless girls go home alone in these conditions. She's got him. She's got him. He can't say no now. He'd have to be a wrong sider to say
そ
no.
んなの状況とは全く関係ないこと
That's got nothing to do with being a right sider. Oh, he's
それじゃあ宮代先輩ちょっと借りていきますね。
like,
失礼
he's
しま
like,
した。
I'm surprised he wasn't like, oh shit. Okay, we're gonna borrow Miyashiro for a little. See you around.
待て
Wait,
僕が行くとは
I
一言
didn't
も
say I'd. Yeah, excuses, excuses. Hannah drags him. I ended up walking them home despite my protests. Why did I have to do this? I wasn't even sure what they'd come over for anyway. And on top of that, on top of all that, Arimura had fallen strangely silent. Kazuki was always quiet, but experience taught me that whenever Arimura wasn't talking, it meant trouble. Of course, it usually meant trouble when she was talking, too. We walked in silence before Arimura finally opened her mouth.
嘘ついてますよ。クルス先
Cruz
輩。
is lying. Or more accurately, Cruz is lying, senpai.
Eh?
What?
それも南沢千里っていう人のことで何か隠してます。
And she's hiding something about Senru Minamisawa. Ooh. My heart thudded loudly.
どうしてそんなこと
How can you tell?
どうしてって先輩も知ってるじゃないですか、私の能力のこと。
Alright, let's think. Karus deflected a couple times. Let's see. I need to take a drink of water. One sec. Okay. Let's see. Blah, 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 blah. You were friends, right? Friends don't normally know that much about each other's families, do they? That is a deflection, and not a direct answer. Saying we were friends, yeah, we were friends, but I don't know, would be like the natural response. Let's think. If she's lying, let's look at all the questions. Tell me about her family. Okay. I don't know. Can we stop talking? She's trying to change the subject. Then she deflects when she's pressed. Let's see. Let's see. What was she like? Why are you asking this? You remember you were talking about yesterday? I was wondering about it. Okay, wait. You're friends with her? Answers with, huh? Yeah, we used to play all the time in elementary school. It was just us two. That's a definitive answer. This is a definitive answer. Okay, so that could be a lie. We're family. Is family true or wrong? Let's see. And the rest is unrelated to Senri, I think. So, there's only one truthy statement here, and that's this one. This isn't an answer. This has a true-false value of yes, and she could be lying about playing together in elementary school. Or she could lie. She could be lying here about whether they played all the time, whether it was just the two of them in Kawahara, or that they were friends. There's like 4 potential lies there. And then the others are deflections where I don't know if her true false would ping. So that is the statement where I'd say she's lying, likely to be lying. But there's like 4 possibilities there. Either they weren't friends, they didn't hang out all the time. Oh, sorry, I guess it's like 3, sorry. They were friends, they didn't hang out all the time, it was just them. Those are the 3 lies that it could be. How can I tell? You know my power, right? Yeah.
それはそうだけど。
It's true, but she was lying? Nono was lying? To me? I was worried about Senri Minami Sawa as well, but between the two, that was the bigger shock.
それはその確かなことなのか。
It's Nono, man. She lies about all kinds of shit. You basically need a human lie detector to catch her on this stuff.
なんなら私の能力もう一度お見せしましょうか。
Want me to show you my power again? I can see your D sword floating out of the corner of my eye.
いや、大丈夫だ。
Well, that's fine. Nono was hiding something, but why?
実は昨日話した時に気づいたんですよ。
I actually figured it out yesterday.
川原先輩と南沢千里さんの話してたでしょ？
You know when she was talking to Kawahara about her?
あの時クルス先輩、南沢千里さんは死んだって言ってたけど。
Bruce said Senri Minami Sawa was dead, but why would you? You know, she's not
嘘だってのか。
positive. That was a
じゃあ
lie.
南沢千里は生きてる。
Then Senri's alive. Why would you lie about that? And if you are lying, and okay, like even if she's just fucking dead to you, like I could say someone's fucking dead to me, right? Like, you know, someone, one of my friends is a complete asshole. I'm like, fuck you, I'm never talking to you again. I could walk up to someone and 100% say they're fucking dead to me. And that would be a true statement. Because it's like a proper turn of phrase. So why would you lie about that? Either you're not either you're interacting with them or she's not actually dead and you know that for a fact. Either you've like not severed ties or she's not dead. Either way, she's not dead. At least that's what Karus thinks. So Karus doesn't think she's dead. She was alive. Senri Minami Sawa was alive. But why would Nono have to hide that? I mean, she could be holding out faith and maybe didn't see her demise. Or she could be one of those people who's like, I refuse to believe this person's dead. She could also know something. I mean, that's a 50-50 chance.
それから
It doesn't seem like a reason
彼
to
女のこ
lie.
とよく知らないって言ってましたが、あれも嘘ですね。
She said she didn't know much about her. That was a lie too. Okay. Oh, right. The not knowing about the family. That pinged as a lie, really. I thought that would have been a decent deflection. Wait, did I get that wrong? Hold up. Was that the 4th thing? I did count 4 at some point. Wait. I'm sorry, I don't know a lot about her family. That's a definitive lie. That could be a definitive lie. This one is a deflection. This one is a lie if she knows a lot about her family. Yeah. Alright. That's the 4th lie. Alright. I did count 4 originally. That was the 4th one. Okay. It was 3 in one statement, 1 in another. Alright. She said she didn't know much better. That's a lie. Okay. What Arimura was saying was probably true. Nono knew Senri Minami Sawa very well, and she believed she was alive. Why did she think so? For 2 possibilities. One was she knew for a fact she was actually alive. The other was that she wanted to believe. Yep, so he's reduced it to the 2 possibilities pretty quickly. If she consistently said she thought Minami Sawa was dead, then...
まあ、今となっては事件のすべては尾上セリカによるものなわけだし、だから南沢千里さんのことはどうでもいいのかもしれないですけど、でもちょっと気になったもんで。
Well, at this point, we know Serika Onoe is behind the murders, so maybe it doesn't matter, but it was bothering me. Fair enough, Hina.
それじゃあ、宮代先輩、私たちはここで。
Anyway, Miyashiro, we can go the rest of the way on our own.
先輩？
Senpai?
なんだよ和樹、いきなりつねるなんて痛いじゃないか。
I thought she slapped him. Okay. Ow, what's wrong, Kazuki? Why'd you just scratch me like that? That hurt. I was expecting her to knock some sense into him so he didn't look so
さっきから
depressed.
話しかけてるのに宮代先輩がぼーっとしてるからですよ。
I've been talking, and you've been spacing out. That's why, right?
うん
Yep.
ああ、そっか。
I see.
ひょっとして私余計なことをやっちゃいました？
Did I maybe not have said anything?
あ、いや、いいんだ。
No, no,
別に
it's fine.
大したことじゃない。
It's not a big deal. That's interesting, though.
そうですか。
So this is our
だ
plot
った
hook.
らいいんですけど。
Really? I hope so. This is our plot hook. Is the Senri Minamisawa plot hook I called out a way back. That's kind of interesting. Okay. I'm interested to keep going. Let's see, find out. We might find out the backstory for Senri Minamisawa here then. I said goodbye to the two of them and headed back to the apartment. The whole way back, I couldn't stop thinking about the fact that Nono might be lying to me. Why? For what purpose? The same questions kept spinning about in my mind.
家族の間で隠し事はしないこと、これだけは守ってほしいの。もう家族がバラバラにならないように。
No secrets between family members. I swear to God, this is the same thing her dad wanted, right? Her adoptive father, you know, the guy we know who is the mind controller, who does all the murdering and loves the exotic murders. So I feel like, why is it that in this series, it's like the people who insist on no secrets are the people with secrets? Like, he insists on no secrets, obvious secrets. She insists on no secrets, obvious secrets. Like, obviously, we knew that was... There's a couple, like, questionable moments where Karius is a little bit... saying some, like, slightly questionable stuff, so digging into it now makes sense. But it's kind of funny having it happen not once, but twice in a row. Having people keeping, like, big secrets. And she's already done this, right? Like, we already fucking left living with her because she was lying to us. So we should know she's like a serial liar at this point, I swear. Alright. Or a compulsive liar. I guess it'd be compulsive liar. She likes to lie about anything she doesn't want people to know, right? Anyway. Keep this promise no matter what so we don't get torn apart again. You mean like this one you're not keeping? Nice. Nono was the one who'd said that. No secrets, no lies. That was the one promise that kept us together. But... here we are, Nono's lying.
あ、おかえりタクル。
Oh, welcome back, Takuru. When I got back, Nono was the same as ever.
和樹たちちゃんと帰った？
Did they get home okay?
うん。
Yeah.
途中までだったけど。
I only saw them part of the way, though. There was no sign of the awkwardness that had been there when she was talking to Arimura. But...
あのさ、さっきの話だけど。
about what we were talking about
さ
before.
っきのって？
Before?
南沢千里の。
About Minamisawa.
ごめん。その話はもうやめてもらえるかな。
Sorry, can we not talk about that?
どうして？
Why?
だって死んでしまった友達のことを思い出すのはとても辛いことだから。
Because it hurts to remember a dead friend. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It was 6 years ago. Get over it. For Takuru, it's been 5. And he like, I mean, just get over it. Come on, you can't use that as an excuse after 5 years.
ご飯もうすぐできるからテーブルの上片付けてくれる？
Dinner will be done soon. Can you clear off the table?
わかったよ。
So, here's an approach. If she's clearly hiding something, here's the approach I'd go with. I want to call this before he does his approach. I wanna have the dinner and have Karus repeat no lies, no secrets, and like reiterate the promise that keeps the family together out loud, and then be like, okay, Karus, let's hear it then. Like then you confront Karus hard. You're like, repeat this. Like, what's the promise that keeps our family together? Oh, Ito repeated it. No, do you know that? Oh, you do. Well, in that case, bam, pressure. And then it's like, clearly you both know that this is wrong. Now stop lying and tell us the truth. that'd be how I'd want to approach getting something out of her. Try to guilt her into it, because she seems to have this really big emphasis on family and how important this is. So what you want to do is pressure her into doing things for her family or following her rules for the family to make her feel guilty, so that she'll break, as it were, and like tell you whatever you want to know, right? You're like, you said no secret, you know, you press her on the no secrets, so fucking tell me. Right? And if she's feeling guilty, if she's feeling somewhat guilty about lying, she's more likely to crumble there, right? Rather than just like, you know, demanding to know whatever. You gotta try and work something. Let's see what happens. So, it was obvious Nono was avoiding talking about Senri Minamisawa. Maybe it didn't matter at this point, but still, something was bothering me, like a thorn pricking in my heart. Senri Minamisawa, maybe I needed to learn more about her. It was one thing to decide to learn more about Senri Minamisawa, but the question was how to go about it. I asked Kunosato and Shinjo, but they didn't have much to tell me. They knew nothing beyond what we'd found in the basement of AH Tokyo General, which meant I had to ask someone who did know. To be honest, I wasn't happy with the idea, but I didn't have much choice. Oh, we're at the school. If I wanted to talk to him, this is the best place to catch him. Nono would ask questions if I left the house in my school uniform, so I went without it. Ah, okay, he's sneaking out of school. That meant I stood out like a sore thumb. I recognized some of the students passing by, but they didn't pay any attention to me. They just chatted with their friends as they walked by. That's fair. I wouldn't talk to random people from my class if I wasn't interested in that either. I waited for about 30 minutes. Finally, he appeared from the other side of the school gate.
Miyashiro?
Miyashiro? Oh wait, that was probably a little bit too aggressive. He's probably more surprised than, like, angry. Kawahara frowned when he saw me. I knew he didn't like me, but he also probably felt awkward after what had happened yesterday.
ちょっと話があるんだけど。
I want to talk to you.
いいですか?
Is that okay?
もしかして俺に宣戦布告でもしに来たか?
Did you come to declare war on me?
なんだクルスに手を出すなって言いに来たわけじゃないのか? それなら少しは見直してやるところだったのにな。
Oh, you didn't come to tell me to keep my hands off Karus? If you did, I was prepared to respect you a little. Kawahara seemed to misunderstand how things stood between me and Nono.
で?
That's because you're the only one who doesn't understand it. You and Karus are like convincing yourself that's not how it is, when that is how it be. Alright, so.
話があるんだろ?
You want to talk, right?
だったらさっさと言えよ。
Talk! Kawahara didn't even bother to hide his irritation with me. People were staring at us as they walked by. Can we talk somewhere else?
もしよかったらどこか別の場所で。
Kawahara sighed and started to walk. I followed him.
この辺でいいだろ?
This place is good enough, right? He was standing on the side of a road without even a bench. It felt like his way of saying he didn't want to talk for long.
早く言えよ。言っとくが俺はお前の顔すら見たくないんだから。
With it. Just so we're clear, I don't even want to see your face. I could tell from his tone that his hatred towards me was building, but I felt the same way. I just wanted to ask him my question and get the hell out of here.
川原くんは南沢千里さんと友達だったんですよね。
You were friends with Senri Minamisawa, right?
南沢? お前がなんで急にあんな奴のこと聞きたがるんだよ。
Minamisawa? Why are you asking about her all of a sudden?
それはちょっと気になることがあって。
Well, there was something I was curious about.
別に南沢はクルスと仲が良かっただけで俺はあいつのことを友達だなんて思ってない。
Not really. Bruce and Minamisawa were friends. I never thought of her as a friend. I could tell that from the way he acted the other day. What a dick.
南沢さんはどういう人だったんでしょう?
That is a weird fucking question to ask about a dead person. You don't want to lead in with a better question? Alright. He's an okay journalist, but he's really bad at these interviews. What was Minamisawa like?
そんなことクルスに聞けばいいだろ。
Just ask Karus if you want to know. She was a lot closer to her than I was.
クルスはあんまり覚えてないって言ってます。
Karus says she doesn't remember.
覚えてない？そんなはずないだろ。俺だって覚えてるんだ。俺なんかよりずっと一緒にいたクルスが覚えてないわけない。
She doesn't remember? Impossible! I remember it! Karus spent a hell of a lot more time with her than I did.
例えば
For example, Kawahara glared at me, then sighed and started to talk.
南沢は初めて会った時から気味の悪いやつだったよ。
Ever since I first met her, Minami-sawa was always creepy.
いつも暗い顔して顔色も悪くて声も小さくて何言ってんだかわかんねえし陰気を絵に描いたようなやつでまんまクルスの引き立て役だよ。そうだな、そういうとこお前にちょっと似てるかもな。
This guy's so rude, holy shit. She was always pale and gloomy, and she mumbled so much you could only barely hear what she said. Her only role in life was to make Karus look better by comparison. Kind of like you. Maybe. He laughed. He wasn't even trying to hide his disgust with me anymore. But I didn't care.
それでその
What about her family?
彼女はどういうその家とか。
ああ、確か親が怪しげな新興宗教にハマっててさ。
Oh, I think her parents were caught up in some weird cult. Kawahara, who claims to barely know her, knows all this, and Karus knows nothing.
新興宗教
A cult?
名前までは忘れちまったけど、それで毎週日曜になるとそこの施設に通ってんだって言ってた。
I don't remember the name, but every Sunday she had to go to some facility.
どこっつってたかな。確かでっかい病院の地下とか言ってたな。
I forget where it was. I think it was under some big hospital, she said.
AH 東京総合病院
H Tokyo General?
そこだよそこ。
That's the place. What, you knew about it?
お前知ってんのか。
いやそういうわけじゃ
Not really. The Senator Minami-sawa had been going there after all. But wait, did that place belong to some cult back then?
ああ、そういや。
Oh, come to think of it. He must have started to remember as he talked, because he was speaking faster and more clearly.
いつも長袖着て隠してたけど体育の時にチラッと見えたんだよ。そしたら腕に針の跡とかいっぱいあってさ。
She always wore long sleeves to hide it, but I caught a glimpse of her arms in gym class one day and they were covered with needle marks.
だんだん学校も休むようになって今考えるとやばいよなあれ。
Then she started skipping school. Thinking back, there was probably something shady going on. Alright, needle marks on the arms and suddenly skipping school? That's like a couple red flags for a drug addict.
そんなだからうちの親なんかにも
Human experimentation.
あいつとは付き合うなって言われてたんだけど
My parents told me not to have
ク
anything
ルス
to do
は
with
付き合う
her.
もんだから。
But she was hanging out with Karus all the time, so... Kawahara's tone became sharper and angrier as he remembered the past. As I listened to him, of course, I was remembering the girl named Senri Minami-sawa. I was sure her parents had taken her to that research lab. She was undergoing experiments there every week. The goal, of course, was to awaken her gigalomaniac powers. I didn't know if her parents had agreed to the experiments, but it was easy to imagine she hadn't wanted to do them herself. There was one more thing I could tell from this conversation, and that was...
ねえそのことをクルスは
Did Karus know about this?
知ってるに決まってるだろ。さっきも言ったようにあいつは俺よりもずっと南沢と親しかったんだ。
Of course she did. Like I said, she was a lot closer to Minami-sawa than I was.
しょっちゅう悩みを打ち明けられたりしてたみたいだしあいつの両親のことだって俺なんかよりもずっと知ってるはずだ
Ooh,
よ。
okay, so not only do we know that she's probably lying, but he's like, there's no fucking way this chick isn't lying to me. Alright, interesting. That is some big lie stuff. And also very pointless to lie about. Am I the only person that's like, wow, why would I lie about not knowing someone's family? Like, what is there to gain by not knowing about this? So, Minami-sawa would always talk to her about her problems. She knew more about her parents than I did. Okay.
そもそも今の話だってほとんどガキの頃にクルスから聞いた話だしな。
What I told you is something I actually heard from her. Damn, like... Alright.
そう
I see. There's like... That's like no ifs, ands, or buts. She's definitely lying about something
よってのはそ
for
れだけか。
no reason, though. Is that all you want to talk about?
うん
Yeah.
ありがとう
Thanks. So... Compulsive liar? Identity theft?
なんなんだよ
なんで俺がこんなこと。
The hell? Why do I have to? I bowed to Kawahara and turned to go.
おい、宮代。
Hey, Miyashiro. I heard his voice behind me.
クルスに早く学校に来るように伝えろ。それから。
Tell Karus to start coming to school and...
もしまたクルスに何かあったりしてみろ。ただじゃ済まさねえからな。
If anything happens to her, I'll make you pay for it. Once he was done talking, he walked off. But to be honest, I didn't care. What was important was that...
ごめんなさい。千里とは友達だったけど、あの子の家のこととかあまりよく知らないのよ。
Interesting.
だからもういいでしょ。
That is a lot of lies, a lot of which don't seem to have any meaning. If you are friends with Senri, if you, Karus, Nono, are friends with Senri, why would you lie about knowing her family? It's not like there's anything bad that can come of this, right? Like, what could possibly come bad of this? So, either she's, like, forgotten everything, which is unlikely, or she's lying because she doesn't want to talk about it, or it's... Yeah, or it would not be Nono. That would be the only other choices, right? Well, I mean, Kawahara would clearly know if she's Nono, right? So the only choice is she's lying because she doesn't want to talk about it because it exposes something else that's really big? Alright. What does it expose? Nono was lying to me after all. Nono was hiding something involving Senru Minamisawa, even after she'd promised that she wouldn't keep any secrets, which meant that was a lie too. Well, time to move back into our old trailer. I had dinner and took a bath. Yuto and Yuki had already gone to sleep. Nono had her textbook out on the table. Even when she wasn't going to school, she was still keeping up with her studies. She'd asked her friends what subjects they were covering and kept up with them at home. As student council president, she was trying to set an example. I'd gotten my Pokecom online, but nothing I was seeing was going into my head. I was trying to figure out how to bring things up with Nono. Again, I already brought up an approach for this during dinner. Oh, come on, what is it?
何が
What's what?
さっきから何か言いたそうにしてるでしょ。
You've been wanting to say something for a while now, haven't you?
どうして
How can you tell?
それ
Here
く
we
らい
go.
わかるわよ。
I can tell.
タクルのことだもん。
I know all about you, Taku. Was that because we were family? But then why?
ちょっと外いいか
Can you come outside for a second? Okay, he's reducing pressure by removing her from the other two.
うん。
I went outside with Nono. Of course, we couldn't go too far with the little ones to think about, so we only took a few steps from the apartment. Nono followed after me confused. She looked just a bit nervous, probably because she wasn't sure why I asked her to come out here with me. I turned to face Nono. She's laughing to lighten the mood.
なに改まって。もしかして告白でもしてくれるの？
What's this about? Are you gonna tell me you're in love with me?
は
what-
何言ってんだよいきなり
What are you talking about?
だってこんな夜にわざわざ外に連れ出すなんてそんな感じじゃない？
I mean, you're bringing me out here at night like this. It kind of feels like it, doesn't it? It was true that maybe she could interpret this situation this way. Maybe.
もうわかってる。冗談よ。そんなにうろたえなくてもいいじゃない。
Come on, I'm joking. You don't have to panic like that.
まあ、もし冗談じゃなかったとしても、私としては嬉しいけど。
So, what's your power? Are you lying about your power? Is it actually something else? I think she's lying about her... I already said I thought she was lying about her power. So I'm curious if we're gonna get to the root of her power, too. We'll find out. Guess we'll find out here. Even if it wasn't a joke, I wouldn't
か
mind.
かうのはよせよ
Don't tease me like that. Don't be like, oh, I wouldn't mind if you just confessed your love to me. I took a deep breath to help me focus as I got ready to change the subject.
タクル？
A look of tension appeared on her face when she saw how I was acting.
あのさ正直に答えてほしいんだけど
Listen, I want you to tell me honestly.
うん。
Okay?
お前僕に隠し事してないか
Are you hiding something from me? Alright. In the end, all I could do was ask her straight.
嘘ついてること
Are you sure you're not lying to
あるんじゃないのか。
me about something?
なに急に。どうしていきなりそんなこと言うの？
Where's this coming from? Why would you say something like that? Nono smiled, but I could tell. She was forcing herself to
言った
smile.
よな家族の間に隠し事はしないって
There we
あの
go.
約束破ってないか
I knew he'd bring this up. You said no secrets between family members, didn't you? You're not breaking that promise, are you?
Nono
No, no. Maybe she had her reasons. But even so, I was tired of it all. I was tired of being betrayed. I was tired of having the people I cared about lie to me. Yeah, I'd be irritated. My best friend literally just, like, had my sister and dad murdered. And you're like, yeah, I'm not hiding anything. Definitely not hiding anything. And now it's like 500%. It's like 500% certain you're hiding something. Just fucking say it. There was a moment's silence. It was Nono who broke it.
信じて。
Her voice was so tiny I could barely hear it.
お願い。信じて。
Please, believe me.
Nono
Nono?
これじゃ答えにならないっていうのは分かってる。でも今はお願い。
I know that's not an answer, but for now, please. In the darkness, I couldn't see the look on her face, but her voice was full of sorrow and pain. Unless I trusted Nono, we could never truly be a family. Nono said she wouldn't hide anything else. She said she wouldn't lie anymore. I was tired of being lied to when I found out about my parents' death. Remember, Nono lied about his parents' death. Said they died in the collapse, not that they were murdered. I didn't ever want to go through what I experienced when I found out that Serika was behind the killings again. Yeah, this is like a terrible person to be lying to. So all I could do now was...
分かった僕はノノを信じ
Alright, Nono, I believe...
相変わらず甘いね、タクは。
You're always such a softie, Taku. A bitter voice echoed in the darkness. Ooh, hello, Serika. Hello, Serika. The clouds split and the moon shone down to reveal the person in the darkness. Her D-sword shone in the moonlight and a broken smile was plastered on her lips.
尾上
Oh, no way. Welcome back, Serika Onoe. And as much as I'd like to figure out what she's doing here with her sword out, I'm afraid we're gonna have to save that one for next time.